Exciting to get out here, play the course, and learn some of the history.
Always somebody who's going to know a lot about the golf course and a lot about the history. In your best interest to get with that person because you're going to learn a lot.
And that's exactly what we did on this golf episode, visiting a course but getting a tour with the general manager that oversees all 3 county courses.
So let's take a look at the busy Hendricks Field Golf Course.
It's hard to find a collection of courses like we have this close to such a big metropolitan area for this cheap. I don't know if you saw, but we literally just last week got put into the top courses under $100.
Reached out to you right away. You see First Tee on the websites, and they're offering this much.
From here to that tee, then there's another tee over to that green, and then a tee way back there. You look at this, and it's like, this is a public golf course, and the kids have, kids that probably never would have seen a golf course have access to a facility that's in the scheme of First Tee facilities. This is one of the best in the country. That's a feature called the Principal's Nose Bunker.
This Charles Banks design course here with the Parfester. We're going to take a look. This is all the original layout. Nothing has changed.
No, so that is not true, and I can kind of show you. Charles Banks did this course. This is the only public golf course that Charles Banks ever designed. So there are other Charles Banks golf courses that are public now, but they were designed as private golf courses. So you saw Francis Byrne.
Yes.
You saw the scale of Francis Byrne. I like to say that this is Banks Light. So everything here is at a 3rd scale, basically of what he did at all of his other golf courses. The banks on the sides of the greens, the depth of the bunkers, the penalty areas. But this is the only public golf course he was ever hired to do.
From start to finish.
Yeah, that was meant to be public. Things called template holes. I'm sure you've heard that said before. Basically, they used them, like we have a bunch of them here, and at Byrne, because it was a Charles Banks, Seth Rayner, and C.P. McDonald thing. But they would take the different types of holes and put them on all their golf courses, essentially.
Okay.
So you'll see different variations of
almost like a blueprint that they could just pop down.
Yeah, interesting. That's exactly it. But I can run through them real quick. So the Alps is a template. The reverse Redan, template. The short, par 3, it's called the short is the name of the template.
Number 11, the railroad hole.
Back here was all wooded. You couldn't see that there were train tracks. You couldn't, but you see all the gravel right here.
Sort of bike trail, long bike trail.
It's going to be a huge pedestrian, pathway, and they're using the old train lines to do it. This course offers a lot of really good, like I said, template holes, and there's a reason why we got put on that list. 4 comes back here, it's par 5, and 5 goes back out that way. On this side, we created a First Tee facility for underprivileged youth. I'm sure you've heard of the First Tee. Yeah. So we put in a $2 million facility. It's phenomenal, but in order to do that, we had to take some land from over here, and we actually got some land from the park that was unused. It was a wooded area, and made some holes, which I'll show you on the back side.
Cool.
So
what year did that take place?
20 and 21, and Stephen K did all that.
That's when I saw his name. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So Stephen K has done all 3 of the golf courses.
Is that one contract? Do you know by any
chance?
chance?
No, it is not the First Tee facility.
Oh, this is nice. Yeah.
So you can see, for kids, this is the best.
Wow, this is like Tiger Woods' house or something.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. So these all closed, launch monitors and everything that we can, and a projector screen, so the kids can practice all winter.
Wow, this is really cool, man.
And they can we have, you can see the hitting mats. In the winter, when it's snowy, we can put this up, and they can hit right out.
Dude, this gotta be awesome for a kid to come here and see this, just to see it, and just be like, I want this down the road,
But from our week wake facility, Megagane, the girl who plays for Stanford right now is ranked 20 something in the world, I think, in amateur golf, went through that program. So it's happening. It works, and it's amazing. Involved in all the reconstructions of the golf courses.
Okay.
So here, Francis Burn, and now Weequahic, because we've done all three of them in the past, 5 years.
Golly.
This one reopened in 21. So Seth Rayner, Charles Banks, C.B. McDonald, they're all a line of architects. C.B. McDonald was first, and then Seth Rayner worked for him, and then Charles Banks worked for Seth Rayner. Original Charles Banks design is pretty awesome.
Yeah, hasn't changed much.
Yeah, I mean, we made it a little bigger, but we really, in redoing both here and Francis Burn, tried to stay true to the contouring and the routing change too when we redid the golf course because of the first tee. In order to facilitate them doing practice rounds and stuff, we moved. The front used to go across the street, which is now the back, and this used to be the back side. It's called a template hole because they use it.
Okay, then I've had heard that before. Yes.
What a redan is a green on a par 3 that's canted at a 45-degree angle from the tee, guarded front by a bunker. It can either be the traditional redan is this, where the bunker is front left, green slopes back to front, right to left. So that was the front 9. Now I'm going to take you to the back,
which was the original front.
So this used to be the first hole.
That makes sense. Clubhouse.
Yeah, right. The only reason we switched it up was so the first tee being over in the corner over there, they can come out after our in the evening after our last tee time, and they can jump on 1 and play 1, 2, 3 and end up right back in the facility. You can see this side, it starts to look a little different. It's
wow, this is nice. Oh, there's elevation.
Yeah, there is some on this side. The principal's nose isn't a template hole, but a template feature. So that's a Seth Rayner, Charles Banks thing with C.B. McDonald, but it's a big mound with basically nostrils. So they call it the principal's nose. We designed it from the tee so you can't see this part, the middle part, so it looks like 2 nostrils, but it's one big bunker that surrounds this mound. But if you get in there, it can be, depending on where you are in the bunker, it can be difficult to, get a good shot out because of the mound.
This is nice.
Yeah.
And bunkers, I mean, your bunkers are well maintained.
Oh, yeah. They're a hazard that you have to maintain every single day, and it's a lot of area, and it's a lot of manual labor that you have to put into a hazard. There's no other part of the golf course that's hazard that you would put that much time into. There used to be train tracks right back here. You saw at Francis Burn, the first hole was called the road hole.
Yes.
This is called the railroads. And we cleared all the woods all the way back through here.
Wow.
Extended that hole 150 yards. Put this new par 3 in back here. You had removed a couple of holes on the front, like I told you, for the first tee. This was all wooded beyond, the golf course only came to the other side of those. See it, if you look.
Yeah.
There's
that's
a bridge.
the bridge, right? So that has to be it.
Yeah. So the train tracks, they're actually in the process of doing the. You can see all the old railroad spikes. But yeah, this was a bridge for the
I'm glad you showed me this. This is the parts I like. Because you play the course, someone plays it, and they're like, "Hey, look at this over here."
I think it was Montclair Bergen line or something. Template. Remember, I was talking about the template holes. I can run through them real quick. So the Alps is a template. The reverse redan template. You're about to see the. You saw it on number 2 at Burn. The Barrettes. We have the Wee Barrettes. This is one of our new holes that we made. This was parkland, or part of the park, but it was all wooded. So this is our Banks Light Barrettes, we call it the Wee Barrettes, and I'll take you right up to the green and show you. Everything's just smaller in scale here, and
yeah, I do see it now.
Yeah, you see what I mean about the scale? It's just not as deep. It's not as big.
When I saw that over at Francis, I couldn't believe how big it was.
Yeah.
And I don't even think the video gave it justice.
No, it doesn't. You can't.
Because this is big.
It is. This green is about 11 or 12,000 square feet. Francis Burn's close to 16, which is a massive green. In terms of greens,
that is neat looking from here.
Yeah. It's great too.
So when you made all these changes, did it stretch the course longer? You get more out of it?
No, because of we basically added back what we took away on the front. So we didn't really need to stretch it. Influence like the sharp drop offs on the greens here, like in the back, but they're again like a third of the size of the ones at Francis Burn or Essex County Country Club, or this would be a 20-foot slope there. Where here it's an 8.
If it was in difficulty for your 3 courses, how would you rate them?
That is a very good question. I would actually rate it Burn, Week Wake here, because Week Wake is tight. Even though it's short, it's harder than this course. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's tight.
It's tight.
Yeah.
Like you can look at the scores, from our Essex County Championship, and you'll actually see that Week Wake scores are higher than Burns were, but they also weren't playing Burn from the tips. So if you tip out Francis Burn, it's a brutal golf course.